Fitness. I'm Walter, and I'm here to tell you that you can build muscle at any age. It doesn't matter whether you're over 50 or over 60 or over 70 or 80 years of age, as in my case. You can be stronger tomorrow than you are today, and you can do this.
Today's video is a posture video. If you take a look at the slide up here, you will see that we've got the gentleman in the middle with proper posture, and the man to his left has got his head forward, his shoulders forward, and a flat back. He is not anywhere near what we would call good posture. Now, the third gentleman here is probably the worst of all. He's got weak abdominal muscles. And this is something that we can correct today, make a real improvement in anyone that has these problems in your posture.
What causes bad posture? And basically it's something that you understand quite well. It's caused by life. Hanging over the car hood working on something, washing dishes, sitting at a computer desk, any of the thousands of things you do from the time you start college, and if you go to college, until you retire. And it just goes on constantly like that. So what do we do about it? We know the way you can tell a difference between an older person and a young person is basically the shoulders. It's always this and this. And if you look at the little diagram we've got here, you'll see that's exactly what we're talking about. Now this can be cured rather quickly. It's not a hard thing to do. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to tighten up our glutes, which is very important, because once you do that, your body automatically comes back. If you're standing this way, hunched over, and you tighten your legs, you don't get a lot. Do you see that? There's a slight, just from tightening the butt, pulls you back up. The second thing we're going to do, which is a little harder, is suck in the gut. Now, you've got an entirely different appearance just from doing those two things. One of the other things we're going to have to do is an unweighted military press. It's just a standing military press, but instead of using weights, we're going to use a prop. Now here's the prop we're going to use. I'm going to hold it, as you can see, with your hands at about shoulder width. So now you're standing straight, you suck in your stomach, you squeeze your glutes, and now you bring this up to here, and you push it straight up in the air. Straight up, and you hold it with your stomach. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is critical, of course. So you've got to breathe with your stomach sucked in and your glutes tight, and hold it there. Now this prop doesn't weigh anything. I suspect it doesn't weigh a pound, but that's not the issue. What we're doing is stretching our deltoids, we're stretching our pectoral muscles, and we're holding them in a position not unlike a plank. And we're continuing to breathe. Now after a while, you bring it down here, 15, 30 seconds, whatever you want, very slow. Push it back up again. Hold it. After a reasonable time, bring it back down. Keep your shoulders back, push it back up again. Keep your stomach sucked in and your glutes tight. If you do this for a minute or two, you're going to find yourself starting to sweat, and your heart rate goes up. Down, and there we're going to quit with that. We move on from the standing military press, the weightless one, which is a posture move, to this next move. And if you have clicks in your shoulders, when you move them around, they click. This will get rid of that. But one of the things you have to realize, this is done primarily for your shoulders, and it's really good. You stand with your back flat against the wall. You put your elbows out and your hands back. So now you've got your shoulders, your arms on the wall, your butt on the wall. And you're going to do this. And back down again. And up. And down again. Keep them on the wall. There you go, 5 times, 6 times. believe it or not, that will alleviate the clicking in your shoulders, temporarily. You have to do it regularly, and there are other things to be done. We're not training for injury. And again, this is a strength training video. Bodybuilding, you go after individual muscles with isolation exercises. We do not do that. We try and use anything that will work, but we try and stay on our feet. We try and use more calories to build overall strength and to be leaner. And that's the goal here, is to be stronger, to be leaner. And you can do it regardless of the age. Now we're going to move on to something that may be a little bit difficult. The exercise we're going to do right now is to improve the strength of our posterior deltoids. The posterior deltoid is the muscle that's behind the shoulder. There's three shoulder muscles here. We have the anterior or front deltoid, we have the medial or middle deltoid, and the posterior or the rear deltoid. We do an awful lot of exercises with our arms. We lift this way, we lift this way. This works these two front deltoids, the medial and the front deltoid, quite a bit. What doesn't get worked is the posterior deltoid. What it does get from years of bending over, rounded shoulders, is stretched. And when it's stretched, it doesn't get stronger, it just gets stretched. So what we're going to do is do an exercise that will strengthen that. And I'm going to give you a couple of views of it, but basically I'm going to lay down flat on the floor, put my hands out like this, lay flat. You want your head actually looking straight up at the ceiling, and you want to keep your head as we raise in a straight line with your body. You put your elbows and your arms on the floor. You could put them this way. I prefer the clenched fist because it seems to be easier for me. What I'm going to do is put them out straight to the sides. They're out horizontal, and I push down on my elbows up like that and back down again and back again. Now I'm going to turn so you get a better view of it. Sorry about the shiny head. Okay, here we go. Same thing. Press down and up. You can go up if you're just starting this, or maybe on a regular basis. You keep your elbows on the ground. You can do it either way, with your hands on the ground or your elbows. This is a little harder. It's easier to do with your elbows, and actually you probably get a little better contraction that way, but less weight loading. You're not only squeezing and using your posterior deltoids, you are also squeezing the lats. Do that 5 or 6 times. Take a break. Do it 5 or 6 times again. And get out the Bengay, because tomorrow morning or the next day, you're going to feel it back there. It's not extremely painful, but you'll notice it if you haven't done anything like this in a while. Interesting video, wasn't it? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the subscribe button. We need all the subscribers we can get. If you liked it, click the like button. If you have any comments, things you would like to see in the future, things you didn't care for, we're interested in any suggestions we get. We're working on this all the time, and we hope you'll become a regular watcher of our channel.